Look at me and make me laugh.
We're live. Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
I warn him and everything. At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 12 noon on Saturday in Hong Kong. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Tonight, we are going to demonstrate a citizen science project. It's called Sunspot Detectives. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. A very small quote from the site goes like this. This project invites you to become a sunspot detective, contributing to what stands as the longest running experiment in astrophysics. By participating, you play a pivotal role in advancing our comprehension of the sun's intricate magnetic past and its enduring impact on Earth. Join us in unraveling the sun's secrets as we embark on this fascinating journey through time and space.
Hi, Dawn.
Hey, Dawn. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is a really cool project, Jeff. Let's dive right in, unless you got more comments.
Nope.
All right. So let's see. Am I sharing?
Sure.
All righty. There it is on Zooniverse.
Okay, Zooniverse. And all the usual players here.
Well, if somebody's here for the first time, talk a little bit about them.
Okay, projects. It gets you to all of their list of projects.
Right. It's kind of the homepage, right?
Yeah. Is about Zooniverse, not about this project.
Got it.
Get involved. That's how you get involved in Zooniverse. And it's how you can create projects for Zooniverse.
Ah, okay. So there's two sides of it. The doing and the creating. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It used to be, this was behind the curtain, but now they put it out there so that they don't have to, work with each person setting up something.
Okay.
Talk to the Zooniverse crowd. Build a project again here. And news. This is their own little news thing.
All right. Very cool.
Notifications, etc. That's my username. Okay, so we're looking at Sunspot Detectives, which was 37% done last week when we looked at it.
And then it was, 40? And then this morning I looked at 49, and it's more now already. So go fast.
Yeah.
If you want to work on this one, and it's pretty cool, check it out right away.
Yeah.
Like this weekend.
Yeah, this is cool both historically and as an interesting project.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, and we learned some stuff, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
There's going to be another show.
I think we're developing another show out of this. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so other things about, classify, talk, collect, recents. The about talks about the project, and we'll get into that. Classify is where you actually do look at the images, and talk is if you want to talk.
Kind of a forum, right?
Yeah, it's a forum. And collect, it's where people share the most interesting ones they saw. And recents, again, it's the most recent stuff that people did.
Oh, okay.
This project is exploring historical solar drawings to understand our sun's changes. And they'll learn more and get started. This is kind of an example of what you see from really messy, intricate. Look at all these sunspots. To, hey, look, it's a circle. It's a crudely drawn circle with a couple dots.
And if you've ever done this kind of work, you kind of understand what you're seeing here. Oh, hey, Scott's with us. Thanks, Jeff.
Hey,
thanks for joining us. He says, hello, everyone. Sunspots scare me almost as much as an asteroid hit. Couldn't a big enough sunspot take out all of our satellites? Not the sunspot itself.
Well,
coronal mass ejection would be the thing.
Well, yeah, but the sunspot is the shadow of the of the solar prominence.
But most of them aren't a big deal,
right?
Or they're somewhere else around.
Well,
but I'm with you. Meteorites and CMEs are much more terrifying to me than climate change.
Well, yeah,
that's just my opinion.
CME is just a prominence that got
breaks
blown
away.
It breaks away. Yeah.
Most of these return.
Yeah, most of them return because they're the result of the magnetic field poking out of the, and I'll say surface of the sun. Um,
Seems like it's more of the material is ejecting, but the magnetic field is drawing it back in. It's
well, no,
that
it's the
powerful.
magnetic field is what
It
ejects
is.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the reason why I use quotes for surface is because there's no actual surface.
It's a big
There's
gas
just
ball.
there's just a point
Unlike
where
the moon.
it becomes opaque. It's so bright that it's opaque at that point, and that's it's probably not even a specific line. It's probably just a range in which it becomes more and more opaque. But unless you're diving in it, which would be not recommended.
Are you talking about the reason we see the sunspots? That's
No,
just
the
a
sun,
temperature
the
thing.
sun surface.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So, and the sunspots are simply a dark. The solar prominence is not as hot as the surface of the sun because it's, it came out and it's going back in, and something darker against something brighter looks dark. So that's what a sunspot is.
Right.
So here we are. There's currently 4 people talking about Sunspot Detective right now.
That actually makes it pretty popular for my thinking. I mean, it's Friday night and certainly 9 p.m. here, but it's certainly later other places. And of course, anyone in the world can work on these, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see it's 53% complete.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So it is going.
It's scorching along.
Yeah, because it was like 51 or 52
earlier
today.
I think it was 50% when you looked at it right before dinner.
No, it was like 51 or 52.
51, okay.
It wasn't an even 50.
Got it. Okay. I thought you said 50.
No. So sunspots might seem as imperfections on the solar surface. This isn't what you read before, right?
No.
But they are fascinating and constantly changing structures, hosting a lot of energy and physical processes. And
they're really exciting to find on the sun because the sun's usually just a disk if you're kind of looking at it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and they tell us what's happening in the sun. People talk about the solar maximum and solar minimum, and that's how many sunspots there are.
Yeah, it alludes to that. So yeah.
Well, no, because maximum and minimum are the maximum and minimum numbers of sunspots.
Right.
So yeah. So since the early 1600s, keen observers armed with telescopes have turned their gaze to the sun. This isn't what you read, is it? No. And so this talks about what they're doing here. Basically, they've got a lot of historical solar drawings dating back to the 1600s and serve as our direct link to the sun's magnetic past.
That is a long project.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the farther back you can go on this with good data, the more you can see trends, cycles.
And I think I even said this feeds into that understanding, and when they post the the different basically the cycle.
Right, yeah.
So this feeds into that.
Yeah.
So you could be part of this legacy too.
Yeah. And and they talk about the impact of on Earth, and that's you can play a pivotal role in advancing our comprehension of the sun's intricate magnetic past and enduring impact on the Earth.
That is what I read.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
That one is okay. So
let's go to the there you go about
because they talked about it a little bit, and here we go.
I think they were saying there's 2 main sources, so we may see more of this because this is only from one of them.
Angelo Secchi at Collegio Romano in Rome.
I think it's Secchi.
Yeah, it could be.
Angelo Secchi, they were saying in the video, which we have a clip of.
Yeah. And fascinating guy.
Very.
And that's why this will produce another show. I think we're going to do a profile on him.
I think we're going to do a profile on him. I hadn't heard of him before. However, extremely important historically and very interesting. So, yeah. Yeah.
He was a Jesuit and a dedicated scientist who was really interested in the sun and its secrets. and he was into a lot of things regarding the sun. But one of the things that we're looking at here is that he basically noted down sunspots. He had a solar scope, and he would constantly track the number of sunspots.
And they said it was some thousands of them, right?
Right, yeah.
Is that number in there? I thought I saw a number in there.
No, just from 1853 to 1878. So that's 25 years worth. And in the later times, he used photographs, but in the early ones, they were hand-drawn sketches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is all the hand-drawn sketches.
Yeah.
Because I think the photographs are easier for the computers to count.
Yeah, the drawings in this project.
Right, yeah.
Belong to, and let's see if we can say that.
And
back up a little bit, because it's got the Istituto Nazionale di Astrofisica, which would be Italian. Because
National Institute of Astrophysics, yes.
Right.
But yeah, the images used in this project produced by singling out individual sunspot groups based on the work carried out in Ermoli. Don't recall seeing that.
That seems to be a reference, maybe.
Yeah.
So there he is.
There he is. And
it's like, that's got to be a photograph, right? But we're not entirely sure. So maybe we'll learn more.
Very well
during the
could
profile.
be, because
yeah,
he was doing this through 1878, and there were photographs back then.
Yeah.
And okay, that's some goofy ass drawing of it.
Yeah, a comedic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but this
cartoon,
is,
I guess they said.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It looks like a unicorn in there.
This is where he was really getting into trying to show what it looks like.
And I think that's an actual page from the notebook.
Yes, it is.
With the notebook kind of behind it. Yeah, an example drawing.
Yep.
Yeah, really neat. So these are gonna be a really neat set of images to categorize and count and stuff. So
and so let's do. Oh no, that's that one. Okay, and then there's the team.
Mm-hmm.
And Ermoli is the researcher that's
so it is a reference. Okay.
And
kind of a small team for this one.
Yeah. And the names all look Italian. I wonder why.
Well, clearly.
Education. I
didn't even look at this. Very cool.
Just various things about sunspots themselves, and make a pinhole camera to observe the day's sunspot activity. But you have to have a really precise hole to do that, because otherwise it just looks like a washed out disc.
Yeah, there's a couple of factors in there.
Yeah.
Maybe we do an episode on that, because there's kind of a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
A pinhole camera is a pretty fascinating device.
So they talk about HoloViewer.
Helioviewer.
Yes, HelioViewer. Website where one can access modern day satellite observations of the sun.
Oh, looks like a great resource. I'm sorry, I didn't look at that before this.
Solar monitor. Is real-time info. So this is all good stuff. And here's the fact: is what are sunspots? If you don't know, these are dark because they're cooler than the surroundings, but they're still above 3,000 degrees centigrade.
Cooler is a relative term.
Yes. Yes. And why do we care? 11-year periodicity, the number of sunspots, and it does seem to affect our weather.
It can, yes. You ever remember a really cold winter up there in the North, Dawn? Low sunspot activity.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that, though.
Mm-hmm. So why do we count sunspots on old drawings and not high-quality observations from a satellite? Well,
I think we do both.
Because we didn't have those then.
Well, and here's the thing: you can, like they say, make your study very long, and you can include both because they'll have information that can be useful from both of them.
Yeah, we can't go back in time and throw a satellite into the skies in the 1600s.
No.
Were some images in this project too small?
Oh,
Yes.
yay!
They
Because we
actually
found one was really small.
because the focus on individual sunspot groups taken from a larger solar image.
Oh,
That's
I
why they're
see.
small. So it's basically a chopped up version. But if I make a
So
mistake,
it's a detail of
yeah,
a larger image. Okay.
yeah. What if I make a mistake in counting? They've got multiple people doing it. So
Yeah,
try,
and I think
try not to, but it's not
well,
the
I
end
think
of
you
the world.
just like they say, click done and pat. Basically pass on it.
Right. Didn't observers go blind staring at the sun to draw the sunspots? It's, basically, we talked about this during the solar eclipse. It's crucial to emphasize the dangers of staring at the sun with the naked eye. Instead, these observers employed safer method. They utilized a telescope to project the image of the sun onto a piece of paper. By doing so, they were able to accurately depict what they saw without risking eye damage. The technique can be likened to tracing over an image using transparent paper.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, but they always had this weird sunspot that looked like someone's thumb. Sorry. Okay, classify.
Do you want a small picture?
Yeah, okay.
That's pretty small. And now
Yeah.
we know it's a detail of
Yeah.
a larger image.
And it didn't go directly into the tutorial because, of course, I'd been in here, but I'm going to run the tutorial now. But this is an example of something that they chopped up. In fact, I don't know why they bothered to make it round, but this is obviously just a piece of a larger picture. And I don't know if we can.
Yeah, there you go.
It still doesn't make it much
No.
bigger. It just moves it. It just makes the text bigger. The image is still the same size.
And
so
that's a control. You're doing control shift, right?
Yeah, control plus and minus.
Oh, control plus, right?
Or control wheel, mouse wheel.
Yeah.
Let's do the tutorial. Welcome to the sunset. Okay, so generally, dot one and dot the end are generally not useful information.
Yeah, intro and then let's go.
Yeah. So welcome to the Sunspot Detective site. Short tutorial. Yep.
Yeah, it's very short.
You'll be showing, and if you notice 1 and 2, they count it for you and they run these videos.
Yeah, it's a video. I don't remember seeing a video on these.
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Not as many as they put in this one.
Yeah.
So you're just basically counting sunspots. So select 2 for the just the 2 sunspots.
And some of these are pretty complicated.
Yeah. So
fairly involved.
Here we go. Lots of little ones.
So more involved than the last one, but not as busy as some of them.
Yeah.
We see in here.
Yeah. Basically all the dark markings, because remember this guy wrote on a piece of paper. So if he bothered to put a mark on it, the mark usually meant something.
But they say not to include like the surrounding. Right. Like you see in this case, there's sort of a surrounding.
Right.
Yeah.
But remember, we're not actually just marking it on the thing. We're just counting. And now I see a mark right there that they're not counting. If this guy wrote that on there, it's probably a sunspot.
Well, they do reference the smudges and kind of things that don't quite fit.
Let's see an example of a more complicated group.
Very complicated.
So each mark,
and I think that's where
do not count the where he drew outlines around things. Yeah.
Lines, writings, and smudges.
Yeah.
Don't count lines, writing, and smudges.
Yep. So
not super complicated.
Right.
Not super simple. So just a nice project. A nice
the image size may vary significantly. Yep.
I hadn't found one as small as you did.
Yeah. Continue. You might find, in some cases, too complicated to count. In these cases, please do not enter the value of 0. Just skip to the next image because too long. Because this will lead to low statistics for that image.
It kind of skews things.
if you really can't figure it out, just hit refresh. So F5 for those of you who know the codes, but let me just see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe those. I don't know. 4, 5.
There's a lot.
6, 7,
And
8, 9.
here's the thing too: if enough people skip it, then the ones that have been doable by people are kind of done, and then they can go back instead of the scientists being overwhelmed by hundreds and hundreds of maybe thousands in some cases drawings. They can sift and sort the ones that are pretty easy to do will get done by the crowd. It's a crowdsourced thing, and the ones that need more attention can be done by the scientists, and maybe they can blow them up or look at them with
well, and
my
those who do this every day, and I've seen this in other things when you're looking at spectrum on something where you're like trying to figure out what it means, like does this mean this or that? Someone who does it every day will look at it and know instantly because they'll recognize it.
Right.
So someone who really knows sunspots would probably be able to count those.
And I don't remember seeing anywhere that this was teach the computer how to analyze this.
No, I haven't.
So this is probably a strictly human-based thing.
Well, it probably is because this is a limited data set. I mean, once you've done this hand-drawn stuff, you've done the hand-drawn stuff. So there's no point in teaching.
But yeah, they had 2 sources, so we may see another one of these projects from the other one. I think it's in Germany, right? Yeah. This one's in Italy and that one's in Germany. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's and then time to go, right?
Yep. Then let's go. Okay, so this one.
Teeny.
Wow. But and you can zoom. Here. You can move it. You can zoom it.
Ah, that's helpful.
You still can't make the image itself any bigger. But you can zoom it and zoom out. But it's very kind of clear that there's one.
Oh, one. Oh, I see the rest are writing. Yes. Got it.
So let's mark that. Classification, how many individual sunspots? 1. Next.
Oh, that's a bit better.
Yeah.
We can see it. Oh, but it's a little bit more complicated. Interesting.
Yep. So 1, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And you're just counting. They don't
6, 7,
they don't have you marking them.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to say 14.
Does it go that high? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's just, look at how far you can scroll. You can scroll
got
a bunch. So.
And as you can see, they have the need some help with this task. So you can ask for help too.
Oh, and they've got the field guide too. Size of
I didn't
images.
Look at this one.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Those are the details of.
Yeah. So they've got a shot of the sun, and they'll take this little piece of it. This little piece of it.
Yeah, that's a little more useful because there's not much except in that little part. Okay. Cool. That makes sense now.
Still, I would prefer a bigger overall image, but
yeah.
Oops. There we go. There we go. Range of counts. Number can vary significantly. Whoa.
110.
No, 29.
29. Okay. Oh, it's 110 is the mark that he made for the image. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's 29 in that one. Be careful. There might be cases of no sunspot activity.
So that's when you put in the 0.
Yep. Only when you can't see any.
Only when there's none. Okay.
Yep.
When there's clearly none.
Yep.
Good.
Smudges. The drawings have no, okay, that's all there is. Has it's paper. It's gotten smudged over
and
time.
They're how old?
Yeah. 1600s. So.
Yeah. 1800s.
1800s. Yes, you're right. Hang on. It went out of order. Okay. Sunspot outlines. Do not count the outline.
Right.
And this was in their
Oh,
tutorial.
right. That was the example.
Yep. Oh, and this is, sometimes they just drew a circle around them so that you'd know to see them if they're like two tiny ones.
Mm-hmm.
Spot sizes, different sizes. Dot, they can be large and complex structures like the one in the following image.
I guess you count it as one still, right?
Right, all of that is probably one, but don't count all dark markings that were made intentionally by the observer, small and big ones, but please take care to avoid smudges and small features that are not spots. See the other entries. So yeah, avoid smudges and lines. But,
yeah, smudges might be kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't know. Lines. Yeah. There's lines all over this thing.
Yep.
Not
sunspots, clearly.
Yep. So there could be sunspots on top of a line too. So.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I wonder if there's a way to analyze these for, like, the depth.
Writing, obviously, writing are not sunspots. So you know.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Incomplete spots.
Huh.
Very close to the edge. In this case, you should check how close they are to the spots. In cases like these, you should check how close they are to the spots closer to the center of the image. Why?
That's not confusing or anything.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It might make more sense in Italian.
Oh.
It might not have translated well.
Yes.
Got
it.
In the image above, or maybe they were originally thinking that there was going to be, some kind of locating and marking where things were. That would make sense too, because sometimes they do change what they're doing in the
project parameters. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, in the image above.
And that's something you could certainly go to the kind of forum area, and I think the project leaders do show up in these sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. In some cases, the separation between the various spots is large, so that the ones in the lower part of the image should be ignored because they're only looking for the ones that are centered. They're looking at this grouping.
Oh, okay.
So that starts to make sense.
That's the object of their analysis. Okay. Interesting.
In other cases, though, like the one below, the spots are close together and all should be counted. So if they look like they're all part of the same group, count even the ones that are on the edge.
Okay. Interesting.
But if they look like they're separate groups, don't.
Okay.
That's okay. Peculiar shapes. Spots will sometimes have strange shapes that might resemble a smudge, like that sort of thing. Cases like this suggest that they were drawn intentionally by the observer and thus should be counted as spots. This example would have 3 spots.
Right, 3.
My guess is that they just didn't bother to fill it all in. They just drew a squiggle there where it was.
Okay. Faculae.
Faculae. That's the fuzzy thing, I think. Yes. Images will also include other solar features called faculae. These are drawn as light cloud lines features that can be seen in the images below. Here.
Still not sunspots, though.
Yes, not sunspots, so don't count them. Oh, and this is a photograph.
Wow, okay.
See these lines coming off of it? That's what they're.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the image there that
Right.
we'll be getting to later. That has the 14.
Right.
Prominences.
Prominences. Cool.
The ones at the, spots at the edge might include prominences. In these drawings, they will appear as a dark layer on the side of the image. And count each prominence as a sunspot.
Oh, they say to count it. I guess
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, neat image of a sunspot.
Yeah.
But
so they say that's one. That would be one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see. They've circled it and marked it one.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think that's the field guide, right?
Yeah. So
boy, those can be really helpful.
Yeah. Sometimes they're more helpful than others. In this case, it is.
It is very helpful, yes.
So I counted 14 there. I didn't count any of the lines or faculae. And I didn't count the writing.
Yep.
So done. Next.
So yeah, again, not too hard.
Yeah. And again, this is a kind of small image, but you can.
Oh yeah, zooming in helps. There's quite a few in there.
Well.
Yeah, hard to tell if that's the cloudy thing.
Yeah, is this a cloud or a sunspot? Well,
yeah, I don't know.
It's not drawn as a line, so I'm gonna count it. 1, 2, 3.
And that's the thing.
4, 5,
a number of other people will be also counting it. So if they get a big enough discrepancy, they can look at it themselves.
Yeah.
So good.
So.
Oh, 2 big ones. Maybe.
Are there small ones in there?
Hard to tell if those are smudges or.
I think that they're. I don't know because there's.
They look like smudges to me.
There we go. Zoom in. Yeah. These are such low res that it's hard to tell. These are higher res.
I think they're smudges. What do you think?
I was tempted to count them, but so it's 2.
I would say 2. Yeah. Yeah. Don't feel too bad if you're not sure. I mean, you can certainly refresh.
Right. Now here's a teeny tiny one. I'm gonna say 2 because they say don't count stuff at the.
Right.
That aren't part of the grouping. So.
And that's, if it's a detail, that's what they were trying to do. Get that grouping of however many.
And.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And heck, just doing this to see the pretty pictures is neat too. Just don't blow through them just to see them. Well, I guess if you don't put any data in, it doesn't record anything. So if you just refresh don't hit done, just refresh.
Refresh. Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
So, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14 is a popular number for this.
Well, twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. And we're going to leave this here and come back to the rest of the show because that's
all right.
Wow.
And so, I think you cover the talk, collect, recents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, decent project, but go fast. And I think that's part of why it's going fast. It's not too hard. It's not too easy. It's sort of just right. It's a Goldilocks project.
It's not like counting craters on an asteroid.
Or rocks.
Or rocks, yeah. Oh, no, I did craters on Mars.
Yeah, it was Mars. Scott did the rocks.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go with this part?
Sure. Some stellar events this week, April 19th through April 26th.
Actually, I forgot something. Hold that thought. We'll be right back for that because I wanted to share this thing. Remember, this is that page?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this beautiful thing. It's all about him. And I think they referenced it in the Zooniverse project, right? Yeah. So I was like, oh, let's see what this is. And it happened to be a really neat write-up about this. Let's see, FR. It's father, right?
Friar.
Well, I thought they kept saying father, though.
Right.
Father Angelo Secchi And of course, they give a little bit of biographical information about him. This isn't too old, 2019, so that's nice. There's that picture again. Almost forgot about this.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to talk to you about was this nice video. And I'm going to blow it up and go ahead and full screen us, because I want you to hear this part. And it's just a bit of a teaser for what's going to happen in the event that we do in probably a couple weeks.
Come questo strumento è stato estremamente potente.
Angelo Secchi was also interested in solar physics. He made myriad observations, spectra, even photographs of sunspots, solar prominences, the corona, and other phenomena.
È uno dei primi che usa la fotografia in campo astronomico, e questo gli permette appunto di confrontare le
Look at
foto
that.
ottenute durante l'eclissi del 1860 con fotografie di altri colleghi,
Oh, you're right.
e notare appunto che le protuberanze solari appaiono nelle fotografie prese a distanza, e quindi non sono illusioni ottiche, ma sono fenomeni realmente appartenenti al Sole.
He published his extensive work on the sun in a book written in French entitled Le Soleil.
Okay.
So that's the teaser. I'm hoping you can come back in a couple of weeks, because I'm going to do a profile on him, I think. But they do have a little bit more about in that article. Yeah, go ahead and bring it back up. They do have a little bit more about the observatory he used, and I haven't read this whole thing because we were focused on the project, but he was into a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll learn more about that and this thing. And I think this is kind of a neat place, because they reference a lot of different scientists who were also involved with the church some way. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about there. Sorry, I almost forgot.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess you need this thing back, right?
Sure, if we want to talk about what's going on this week.
Yeah, okay.
Some stellar events this week, April 19th through April 26th. Because, of course, I don't have this week memorized. I have last week memorized. Not
Go
this
ahead.
week. April 19th, the moon is at apogee, and Venus and Mercury are in conjunction, and Mercury is 2 degrees north of Venus, and those will be in the morning.
Yeah.
April 20th, Jupiter and Uranus are in conjunction, and Jupiter is 0.5 degree south of Uranus.
Yeah, in fact, there's a neat picture on Facebook going around about the whole lineup.
Right.
Tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning.
Yeah.
If you're an early bird, look before the sun rises, and you'll see a whole string of planets.
Yeah, someone mentioned 7 a.m. There's more than once.
It's going to be earlier than that.
But
You're here.
Okay, April 21st is Earth Day. On every other day of the year, we're not on Earth. I don't know. Celebrate the rock. And
Celebrate the garden.
and moon is at descending node. April 22nd, Spica is 1.5 degrees south of the moon, and Passover begins. April 22nd, 23rd, Lyrid's meteor shower. The date range is actually the 16th through the 30th, so it's actually going on right now, but it peaks 22nd and 23rd.
And there's a whole chart with all kinds of them on it.
Mm-hmm. The best time to observe is after midnight, but it's still going to be tough. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
It radiates from Lyra, and the peak rate is 10 to 20 per hour. Not bad, 3 to 6 minutes between meteors. Still seems like forever when you're doing it.
Yes, it does.
But
1 a minute is tough, and it's a lot still.
So source of the meteoroids is Thatcher 1861
L, I guess.
L.
Yeah.
And
here's the kicker.
Here's the kicker. The moon is 14 days old, meaning the next day
Damn
is
near
full moon.
full, yeah.
Yeah, it's just slightly off round full. So it's going to be it's going to be shining almost all night because
Yeah.
full moon does. But they say look toward the northeast after moonset. When's moonset?
Like 50 minutes before sunrise.
Yeah.
It is a pretty big moon.
Yeah. So.
You want to read that part? Or you want me to?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, because I found out a few years ago that there's about 900 meteor showers in a year, and about 100 of them have been verified. I probably should look into that some more because it's probably been updated. You'll hear about 2 of them on the news usually, but I created the chart that has 13 of them. They seem significant. It's almost once a month, not quite, every month. But that seemed like the significant ones that I thought were worth looking for. So that's why I created the meteor shower chart.
Yep. April 23rd is the full pink moon. And I don't think it'll look any pinker than it normally does, but hey.
Just what we call it. And Cliff was surprised that they had names. Like, what? Where's that from? Well, it's from all kinds of places, apparently.
It's apparently a U.S. travesty.
Well, but the American Indians named some of them too, so.
Right, yeah.
They started it. No, I don't
But
know.
I don't think Pink Moon is a Native American name.
No, I don't think so either.
Sounds
Did
like
you do that one?
Sounds like Japanese anime.
Did you do this one?
No, not
Okay.
yet. We're still talking about the pink magical girl transformation moon.
What?
Japanese anime.
Where'd you go? Come back. Back to the ephemera. Yeesh.
April 24th, Mercury is stationary or appears stationary. I always need to translate that in my head because no, it doesn't stop. April 26th is our Friday night show, and it looks like, well, you'll see. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. And Antares is 0.3 degrees south of the moon.
What inspires you the most for the coming week? All right, and I have some other events and activities. Let me go set that up, get on the right place, and yeah. So, of course, you can send art to space in a postcard, either virtually or a physical card, and that's the Club of the Future, Blue Origin. I do like to reference that because I think that's really cool, and anybody in the world can send this in. So then we've got, I really want to talk about this thing because this conference, 2024 Nightscaper Photo Conference in September in Utah. And these are not in any particular order. I like to reference this free book again, and I'm going to get it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to get this one. Then there's the Rocketown Comic Con. We've talked about this a few times. There are some new things, including, well, not this one. This one's the guy who's trying to do the chessboard. Space race chessboard, and he's gone up from $800, but I don't know if he's going to make it. 45 hours to go as of the last refresh on that. There's the show for automation. Talked about that too. Oh, let's see, when is that going to be? I thought they had the dates in here. Are they up there?
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, May 6th through 9th, 2024 in Chicago, Illinois. This one's new, the 2024 Humans to Mars Summit. See yourself in the future. That's kind of neat. May 7th through 8th in Washington, D.C. The registration is now open. And I don't really know much about this. I found it on Facebook this past week. So check that out. And this was a nice ad on Facebook. And then they went to this really boring site. Well, this part's boring. But I thought it was kind of cool. Let's see what they're saying here. It's RSVP to secure your spot. Join us for a dynamic public talk with Bradley Flick, director of the NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center. That sounds really cool to me. And when you click on the button in Facebook, it takes you over to this page. Again, it's a little bit boring, but then they do get kind of, oh, there's the images. All right. And April 26th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. I think this is an in-person thing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, yep. It
Right.
doesn't look like they're broadcasting it, which is too bad.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that.
Right. But there are some definitely other things that are online for us, including, well, let's see, the Apologia. Again, I found this one recently on Facebook. Oh, for homeschools. It's a homeschool science fair. And they do want your video submissions by April the 30th. So if you're in this category of school-age children and you homeschool, you want to go quick. That's apologia.com. I think you can start there. Who's eligible, how, checklist. Yeah, really good stuff there. I think it's always good to encourage kids to do science fairs, and sometimes they get to win really cool prizes too. Sometimes it's money. All right, and this was kind of neat. I don't know much about it yet, but Space Workforce 2030 National Space Day joins students across the U.S. in exploring the wonders of space. And National Space Day this year, this one changes. It's like the first Friday in May. This one's going to be May 3rd. And there's all kinds of things at the beginning of May. I call it the Everyday Spacer Week. I've actually tried to get that to be a real name, and still working on it. We'll see what happens. Join National Space Day. 4th and 5th grade teachers join classes across the country for an out-of-this-world experience on National Space Day. So let's see. Do they have more about that? Oh, Club for the Future is involved. Smithsonian, good groups, and some of their sponsors. I guess you have to sign up here to get more information. Little video. Haven't seen that yet, but check it out. This one is swf2030.org. And we have this, which is kind of cool. It's an actually in-person thing tomorrow in, I believe it's in LA. I believe it's an Iconic Atomics Vintage Fashion Show and Pop-Up Sale, 20th and 21st. Is that, yeah, here we go. Eagle Rock Boulevard, Los Angeles. I don't think you need tickets. I think you just go. And they have the rundown of what's happening.
Well, they do have a
this
thing
event.
for select tickets.
Yeah, but there's no ticket price, and it's usually got a price of it. But yeah, check this out. This is on Eventbrite, and I would put in the Iconic Atomics Vintage Fashion Show to try and find it. Let's see. I think I got one more here. Yes, this is the searchfavorites.net site, and they've got some interesting trips to work up to Iceland in 2026. Then there's packages, cruise, Greenland, Northern Lights in Iceland. Sounds like they're real busy with Iceland in 2026. That's what I have for this week.
Okay. Let's bring it back to us. There we go.
All right, let's see. Where are we? Let me scroll. Get our show notes in order here. Oh, this is you.
If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, April 26th, and we'll look at some people. And it looks like some people responded to a Facebook post.
Which I'll go do that right now. Do I have it here?
Can I show them?
Yeah, why not? But yeah, here it is. Oh, this is it.
Okay.
I had it ready. I didn't even realize. So what I did on the 16th was I went and said, hey, did you see the total solar eclipse on Monday, April 8th? Would you like to be a guest on our show? We'd love to share live on a Friday coming soon, potentially the 26th. Add your name or write me. Pam at everydayspacer.com. We'll post more soon. And then I put some names. I wanted to make sure people knew. And here I think Laura's going to be able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Lori Stargazing Awe. And I've tried to get a hold of them. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the deal. The idea is that in a couple of weeks. No, next week. Sorry. That's next week already. Holy smokes.
It was a couple of weeks when you started.
Yes, it was. So next week, and I think Dawn wants to participate too.
Yep. And Laura's cool. I've been friends with Laura since college.
Yeah. And they went on a cruise. They actually saw it from off of Mexico, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the idea is to have, a bunch of people come in and tell about their experience, share pictures if they have. If you cannot make it, definitely spread the word. If you know somebody who's been to the eclipse, if you can't make it, create a 1 to 3 minute video for us and we'll play it during the show, just like we do some of our other videos. You've seen the book ad and of course the one that'll take you out in just a second here, but that's it for me. Anything else on your side?
Yeah, well, also, if you have a really good image, we can show that too if you don't have a video. You don't have to turn an image into a video.
No, That
But
way.
if you want to just share your experience, yeah, good video is good.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Laura put a really neat photo on Facebook.
Hmm.
She was like, "Oh, I was just waiting to capture that one perfect image, and I did it. I got it." So they're gonna get home tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, good. It's not like tonight
Hmm.
because they're not home until tomorrow." And I know Cliff is traveling, but so absolutely, if you want to create a video, we'll run that. If you want to be here live, let me know, and I'll get you the show link so you can be here.
Yep.
Okay, thanks so much, and we'll keep looking for your comments even after the show. But folks, have a really great week.
Yep.
And we'll see you next Friday.
Good night.
Good night.